Bill Carroll, Zindy62 Media, and today I'm going to talk about what might be the best interior pass rush tandem in all of college football. And it's not in the SEC, it's not in the ACC, and it's not in the Pac 2. It's not in the Big Ten. I think you might find the most productive and most difficult to handle pass rush tandem on the interior in all of college football at Yulman Stadium in Tulane. So, they already had a tremendously active, dangerous player in Patrick Jenkins. Patrick Jenkins, now a senior, has had back to back terrific seasons. Going back to 2022, he played in 13 games, had 21 solo tackles, 17 assists for 38 total, with 8 tackles for loss, playing once again, sometimes literally on the nose and sometimes, off the shoulder in that 3 technique. Had a couple of sacks and then follows up last year with 5.5 sacks along with 11.5 total tackles for loss, along with in those 14 games because they played in a championship game and also in a bowl game, but had 15 assists to go with 20 solo tackles. And I think all those numbers could go up. And one of the reasons all of his numbers could go up is an impact transfer, a big time impact transfer from Tennessee State. Terrell Allen has come to Tennessee State from Tulane. He is the reigning Buck Buchanan Award winner and a terrific, and I mean terrific all around talent. Just productive, powerful, disruptive, undersized ish. Listed at 6 feet tall, probably maybe right on that edge of being 6 feet tall. Had 65 tackles, 14 and a half sacks. That led all of the FCS. And he's a player that plays inside and outside, 28 total tackles for loss also. Inside and outside, an inside-outside player. But, I mean, if you watch him play, and I urge you to do it, throw on any Tennessee State game. He didn't have any bad games. His games went somewhere from very, very good to mind-boggling. But 44 solo tackles, go with 21 assists. Tackles for loss in 28 and 14 and a half sacks, as I said before. And just there was nothing he didn't do, right? There was no stat he didn't provide pretty much that year. And just maybe the most dominant defensive lineman in all of the FCS. And Austin Pay transferred before he gets to Tennessee State, in case you're wondering also. But like I said, there's nothing he didn't do. Throw on some of his best games, right? He destroyed Lindenwood. I won't say single-handedly, but was part of destroying Lindenwood. In that game, he had 2 forced fumbles, 4.5 sacks, 6.5 tackles for loss, 10 tackles, which is just nuts. I don't care if you're playing against a high school team, that's impressive. Also, once again, set a team record. Now, obviously, tackles for loss have been kept for about maybe 30-something years. That's a stat, but still, maybe 40, but still, it's a record. Had 8 tackles and 2 tackles for loss playing against Kennesaw State. Had 7 tackles and 4 tackles for loss with 2 sacks against Norfolk State University. We'll get them next time, Spartans. But the point is that goes to Lincoln the next week and has 4 tackles for loss. Sorry, and all 4 of them sacks for 7 total tackles. Simply, like I said, maybe the most dominant player of all of the FCS on the defense. And like I said, a move around kind of guy. Because of his length or lack thereof and his weight or some lack thereof, some teams may see him as a Darryl Tapp type defensive end and maybe ask him to even lose a little weight, maybe get down to the 260s. Some teams may see him as a 3-tech and and tell him to put on 20 pounds. There's a lot, or 15 pounds. There's a lot that could happen with him, but I don't care what he is. If you put these 2 gentlemen together, like I said, Tulane's going to be trouble. So think about that. Think about what Tulane's going to bring to the table, being able to throw those 2. Once again, inside, out, outside. Because Patrick Jenkins can play outside a little bit as well as on the interior. And where most of the damage was done, by Terrell Allen, once again, both, but he can do either one. He's also got interior pass rush ability to go with his ability to step outside and still beat. He can beat tackles, he can beat guards, he can beat centers. You have to chip him. You have to double team him. but you have to do that with Jenkins too. And you can only double team so many people, and that's the math problem that great pass rushers create. Is if you have one great and one very good pass rusher, you're problematic. If you have two great pass rushers and they can play everywhere along the defensive line, it makes it very difficult. So I'll bring you two more prospects again tomorrow. Once again, Bill Carroll, Zenny62 Media, working through my watch list for the 24-25 season and talking about some of my favorite prospects. See you soon.